Welcome back to Suladan Plays Environmental Station Alpha. Last time we did a lot of maddening puzzly things. Just gonna leave it at that. I adore the concept of these puzzles. It's just that some of them were so difficult to logic out, or mainly some of them were just difficult to locate. I mean, given the information that we were given, had I not had a guide, it would have involved me having to spend hours hunting through the area, which would have actually been accurate to some of the earlier video games. There's a reason they sold so many of those Nintendo Guide magazines and whatnot. But in any case, let us see what's on the other side of this. Crystal that I can't get through. And the ghosty goo, which is gonna kill me if I touch it, so let's not. Excuse me. Okay. Oh, I saw. Hey! Oh, great! Now he's gonna follow me forever. Go back to the maze. Oh, using the plasma shield entrance. That's the important detail, apparently. Which I guess... I don't know. It seems like it would have been easier at that point to just, you know, have the maze be enterable, but we'll go with the plasma shield. It requires you to be in the maze. And the other ones don't lead you to the maze, they lead you to computers. A button to quickly turn all of these back on would be very appreciated. But in any case, we apparently have to deal with Ghosty Goo is now a permanent... I don't remember if y'all were here before or not, but y'all are harmless. I think they were here. Which maze am I looking for? I'm looking for that solid skull. Look at me, I don't remember how to find it. Can't go back up. Okay, non-Euclidean maze. Don't die. I didn't save. Oh, well, that's the one I'm looking for, but I need you to not be on the top of my screen. Oh, good. That made him leave for a moment. Buddy, you may want to run. There's a big old ghost following us. Okay, well this did not help my progress at all. Oh, I'm supposed to go left from the, When I find the one with the big solid skull in it, I want to go left from there. Lucky for y'all, I have no idea how to... Ow. That's the exit. No, that's not the exit. Oh, I just remembered how to get to the exit, too. Yeah. Go from there, and then drop back down. Now we're back at the original entrance. Now I can go down from here, and then that'll take me... I thought... Okay, I want to go left from here. It says follow the big circle. So up, left. This may be completely random for every playthrough. I do not know. If your circles differ from mine, then oops. Gravity, why? Oh, yay, now I'm on the other side of that. See, what I keep imagining is going to happen is I'm going to be dropping towards the screen transition, and then the ghost is going to appear from right there, and then I die. But let us see what this says. Translation time. The ghost rests at the smiling face and returns here. Okay. Looks like he could use some rest too. He is why am I back here? Oh joy! Yeah. I still am not fond of having to do this to get through here every time. This is just, for the number of times that I have to go through this thing, it's inordinately time consuming. Heaven help me if the ghost had appeared on the side I needed to go through. But yeah, apparently the ghost will follow you from now on until you go to the smiling room. Which, if you remember, I don't remember how to get out of here. There was an underwater room a while back that had a smiling pattern in the background that I questioned because it puzzled me. I believe that is the smiling room that it is referring to. Ow. There we go. I do not recommend popping your neck. It's, ever since I've had the wreck, my neck does that. It gets tightened up, and then if I tilt it a little bit that, well, if I tilt it about that way, when it gets tightened up like that, that pop happens. And I have found it actually shows up on the microphone, which is both interesting and worrying. Anyway. I'm gonna be honest, I had to look up the number earlier. In the interim after I translated it, because I was honestly going to be searching all through here, but no, it's 1310, so we gotta remember where that's at. Not here, that's where. See, it says it's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It should be right there, wouldn't it? 17, 10, yes. So not where I would have looked. But Ghosty Goo can stay up there and stop harassing me. Thank you, Infinite Dash, for letting me just go over it. Oh, no, I need to go through here. Aha, underwater, okay. Whale, protect me! I really want... I couldn't resist! I had to find out if it was still lethal. The answer is yes. Not the direction I need to go. Those two ghosts just apparently had it out for them. Not the door I need. At least it's a fairly straight shot from the teleporter, and at least I can teleport. Imagine if it disabled teleport and made you run all the way. I mean, there are ways that could be cleverly implemented, but given the... oh, well, you know, given the distance... Let's see, you drop down here, so you'd have to... meander around here, then... you know, back down to, it would be a big meandering path. Some of the pathways in this game do not make backtracking friendly. If not for the teleporters, backtracking in this would be awful at times. Okay, I guess that's what's supposed to happen. I'm gonna hazard a guess based on the previous parts of this puzzle. Not even looking at the guide, I'm gonna go back to where the ghost started and see. I'm gonna go to that infinite hallway, actually. That's where he started. And see if, you know... did I put it to rest? Is that what it's supposed to be saying, is that I put it to rest? It says he rests at the smiling face and returns here. How did I get there again? It's the justice room, isn't it? Yeah, that has to be it. Was the ghost seeking justice? Is that what the justice statue is supposed to symbolize? It's the ghost of the system's AI before the virus corrupted it or something. I don't know. I didn't read that far ahead. I don't like looking ahead in guides. That's mainly why it bothers me when, from a constructive criticism standpoint, I don't like when I have to rely on a guide to find the basic stuff in a... not basic stuff, I'll save it for guys. Oh look, I have to do this yet again. Please put a switch on the other side, so once you go through this once, you can turn off the death wall. Or, equally as pleasant, put a button to turn all your power-ups, to toggle them all, because then I could just toggle it, it would turn those 3 off, then toggle it again, and then all of them would come back on. All would be right with the world. Okay. I don't even have to turn anything off for this. Because the infinite hallway happens if I have any of them. It also occurs to me I have no way out of the infinite hallway if this doesn't work. So I'm glad I saved. Yep. I don't want to go there, apparently. I'm gonna hazard the other location where we found the ghost. Well, let's go through here. Okay, option number 3. Also, there are some red pixels, like 6 of them right there in the hole. Option number 3 is go back through the maze, and maybe that does something. Oh, I'm so slow. No, turn them all on. Turn them all on. I was hitting random buttons in the hope that maybe I had overlooked a way to turn them all on at once. Oh, that's so much better. You get so used to having the excess mobility that when you have to turn it off... There we go. I think it was through here. Left. Left. Down. And then left. Maybe over here? Wasn't there a wall on the right before? Yeah, and reading that destroys that. So let's go this way. 100. Yeah, bottom left, right above my health bar. There's a blinky-doo going on. I don't much trust whatever was going on over there. I do not. No. I do not. That's no as in nope and no as in don't know. Fascinating. What are you? We've been following you with great interest. How are you talking? You know, never mind. I'm not gonna think hard on that. Eldritch Abomination. Your deeds are arrogant but brave. Perhaps they should be rewarded. That's them. They humiliated me before in my own realm. Mustn't be granted passage any further. Let us think. We disagree. They have fully followed the etiquette. We have nothing more to ask of you. They must be punished. It is necessary. Do they? Again, we disagree. No wrong has been done. They have earned their reward. I object of this. Feel free to. Surely you're not going to argue with us. Very well. It is decided then. Be prepared. My reward was explode. My reward was big explode. My reward was reality ending explode. Well. I'm confused. %148% complete too. That's a thing. Oh, you're kidding me. Once you have seen the third ending, there is actually even more to do. Load your save file and enter the glitch zone. I have no idea what the glitch zone is, so yay for that. Tiles will bug out and load the wrong image, making it slightly difficult to navigate, but you'll have the ability to use all your upgrades as you replay the game in hyperspeed. Oh, and then spoiler, 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 unlock fourth ending. I'm gonna push the button and see what happens. Continue. Oh, now it's all sparkly. Is there a way to copy my data? Apparently not. Or is it just naturally going to start me there? So here it begins. We cannot use the main entrance because the generators are offline. Be careful though, because there are probably some backup engines running. When you enter the stations, we will no longer be able to contact you. First thing now is to turn the generators back online. Press A and D to yeah, I'm in normal speed, so... Yeah, okay, map is still open, so there's no weirdness there. Okay, there may be weirdness here. Because I think all that stuff was gone last time. I'm gonna go far enough to figure out whether I've actually... There's an easier way to do this, you know. I could go up and use that teleport room, or I could go forward and see what this computer does. Because this ain't no hyperspeed mode right here. I have made a horrible mistake. I don't remember what I'm doing here, and it aggravates me slightly. Oh, that one's already been pushed, that's why. I don't know what I'm doing. This is the joy of what happens when you're doing stuff without any context whatsoever. What is the glitch zone? I mean, I guess that's a big question right there. Like, you know, what are we defining it? Why, Steam, did you open that on that monitor? Load your file and enter the glitch zone. Does the glitch zone still exist? I didn't encounter anything like that upon entering New Game Plus. Where is the glitched zone? Let's see. Played the last ending after beating the AI, and it glitched so my character was running back to the ship. There's a research ship and a crown and a lot of things that apparently aren't... After killing the ghost and returning to the room of the computer, the ghosts are supposed to kill me. I'm not sure if that's exactly what happened, but I restarted my game and was free from glitches. I killed the virus, got the ending. Okay, so apparently there is a research outpost and a crown. There's a crown in the research. Okay, this adds new layers to my statements about the game being a little overly obtuse, but you know. Okay, so what? There is a bicycle and a crown. Okay. So apparently there is a wiki for this. There is the virus ending, which we have gotten. You know, return to the space station and oops, you brought the virus with you. That was the first ending. Sacrifice ending, which is where you go down to the planet and run out of power. Let's see, there is the maze ending, which we just... Maze ending is the reward for the insanely convoluted, difficult, horrifying, borderline, alternate reality game post-game of Environmental Station Alpha. Somebody out there agrees with me. Let's see. After this ending is obtained, if the player selects the file again, the player will now be brought to New Game Plus. If the player defeats Smuya a second time in basically in New Game Plus, researcher will tell you to go back home. If you leave, the council will show up, tell you aren't finished yet, and that you have to return, and it'll basically show the credits and then throw you back at the station. There is also a crown and a bicycle. Bicycle lets you walk faster. There's one ending exclusive to New Game Plus, which requires you to beat all of New Game Plus, and it involves... Spoiler warning! It's like the virus ending, except you'll crash into an asteroid and die instead of returning to the station. And, then there are some ending screens. The Usurper ending apparently involves you finding the crown and doing the whole big Maze of Madness bit again, but it doesn't mention anything beyond that. So, there's also a Fisherman ending, which is, quote, after completing an unknown task, you will see a fisherman that says, wow, that's cool. Oh, there's actually an image of it. That's neat. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of be done with it at this point. There may be a few more... Whoa, what did I do? No. Controller plus web browser leads to weird results. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the Let's Play of this game here. There are a few more secrets left to find. If you would like to find them, I recommend picking up the game on Steam. Overall, I found this to be a delightful game. I love it, and I'm looking forward to its sequel. A couple critiques. One, if you're gonna have puzzles involving turning these on and off, I would greatly appreciate having a button that would allow me to toggle them all on and all off. For instance, with the death wall, I could toggle them all off, then flip those three back on. When I go through the death wall, I could toggle it to turn them all back on, or turn them all off and then turn them all back on, but you get the idea. And the same goes for the clock room. A quick toggle them all off, then turn the one on you need for that specific thing. You know, it would be quicker than having to do this, which is tedious, and if you're using a controller with a joystick, kind of a little bit of a pain, because the joystick can send so many other signals. A D-pad can send left, right, up, down, and then combinations of these directions, but the joystick can send the whole range of values. The same as the D-pad, like left is either on or off. You're either going full speed or none. Same with keyboard controls on games. Like if you play Monster Hunter with the keyboard, nothing wrong with that. If you push forward, you will run forward at full speed, but with a joystick you can walk forward, you can walk a little faster, and you can, you know, the same issue that ever since the Nintendo 64 has been in many of the 3D games of if you try to emulate them with a keyboard. The keyboard has the limitation of these buttons are simple on-off. It's the same difference between the shoulder 1 and shoulder 2. This is technically an on-off switch. This one has a variable amount of input it can give. Basically, back to the original point, you may want to add a toggle all function there. Secondly, some of the post-game puzzles are very obtuse. Now, this may have been the goal. If this is the goal, great, you did it. If not for guides, many of your players probably would never find a lot of things in here. It would be nice if there was a complete guide, but given the way that the game was updated over time, apparently each guide contained different bits. I was relying specifically on 2 different guides. One didn't have the maze and the ghost and all, and the other one didn't have the other post-game stuff that we did. I can't remember what we did, the pillars and all, and it's just weirdness. And apparently the glitch room is no longer a thing in the game. That was a thing that was patched. It was due to textures not loading properly and was not intentional. But if it was me, I'm fine with the game having really weird, obtuse puzzles, but I would recommend making sure that there is a place that the players can turn to in the case that they get stuck, or if they want a checklist or something. Basically, it would be there for the players that want to scratch their heads and hunt for it, and then the ones that want to just get through it, or get hints, could do so. Which is generally what the Steam discussions or, Googling would do. But overall, I adore the game. I love the art style. You know, it reminds me of like the NES era Metroid and stuff like that. On that topic, though, there is one other complaint that I have meant to mention, and I think I did mention it a long time back not in depth, but I mentioned it. Because this game only has the larger major power-ups, there is a lot fewer of them compared to, say, Metroid game you had. Well, this one you did have the energy, little health ups, which is its own topic, which I'll bring up in a minute. But this game didn't have, missile upgrades, and the Metroid games would have had a larger number of upgrades because you had missile upgrades, health tanks, the main power-ups, etc., depending on which game. I mean, the later ones, you've got super missiles, power bombs, whatnot. But one thing I notice is that in the Metroid games, generally the power-ups for, say, your missile tanks and all could be hidden in wall blocks and stuff that you would do things to open up. They weren't always really straightforward about where they were hidden. It was for you to figure out by basically blasting everything or exploring. It encouraged exploration. The main power-ups were generally put in positions that either made progressive sense or that were gated behind a boss. In some cases, you would find them by blind wandering, and that was fine. It was generally done with a, the overarching plot of the game. You'd stumble across it while still feeling like you explored your way there. even though it was really linear. You could, draw the linear path from upgrade to upgrade. My problem, or my critique, is some of the upgrades in this game, you'll enter the room where you can see them, and the means to get it is either obtuse, well, not obtuse, abstruse, technically. No. I never can use those two words properly, because technically obtuse would mean dull or slow-witted, and abstruse would mean more something closer to abstract. But anyway, sometimes you would see the power-up and then just blatantly not be able to get it, and it happened so frequently in this game. Metroid will do it once in a rare while. It felt overcommon. Also, there's the fact that many of the bosses, you would fight a big boss and then not feel like you got a reward for it. The placement of upgrades might want to be tweaked slightly if you're going for a purely Metroidvania feel. If you are going for something different, then by all means follow your creative vision. I just felt like that was the placement of upgrades, and sometimes the puzzles involved in getting them were a little non-traditional. I don't really have a good word for it. Secondly, I mentioned the health upgrade. There's a weird thing to do with the health upgrades that kind of bothered me. The amount of health you get from each one is not the same. The first one gave me 4, and I think the second one did too. I don't remember the exact, but they started out giving me 4, then 2, then 1. I get you wanted to have a certain number of them in the game, and I get you had a certain max health in mind, and maybe that didn't divide out really well. And I like the idea that when the player finds their first health up, it really rewards them. But when it gets down to you're gaining 1 and 2 extra health near the end, it's kind of, do I really want to waste my time hunting this down just for a percentage point? Yes, I do. But I don't know. I'd kind of like it if they helped a little bit more. Namely, when it gets down to 1 health apiece, it felt kind of dragged out. Maybe at that point, instead of giving 1 apiece, it could be broken in 2 pieces, and you have to find them both, but then you get the full 2 to 4 health. I don't know. I'm just spitballing a bit. I would like to see more doodads and upgrades and, little tidbits that could be found all through the map. Hopefully not in, horribly obtuse, horribly weird and non-intuitive manners. But overall, I really enjoyed the game. I adore the style, the sounds, the way the game feels. The controls are generally very tight. The dash can be a little weird at times, but I also understand it's to be different than, an infinite jump would have been a bit too Metroid, because that's what the space jump is. So a dash is very interesting, and I love that I can use it to dodge things. One thing that might be neat, I don't know, that might be problematic. I was going to say you could make it where you hold it down and you could charge up a larger dash, but that in of itself could be really difficult to work around. I like it. I also like the plasma field being a unique variation on the screw attack. It could be interesting if you had multiple varying beams you could pick up, but again, you may be trying to avoid feeling too Metroidy. So I don't know. I would love to see, more upgrades, more upgradey things to find. Yes, I know there's a bicycle and a crown, but, apparently the crown is really obtuse to find, and the bicycle wouldn't really help me much at this point. It just makes you walk faster, which is neat, but at this point in the game would not be super helpful, because with the infinite dashing, I can already move fast. I do know that there is a sequel in the works. Last I heard, the current working title is the SA2, but that's not the full title. That's just, project has to have a name. I am looking forward to it, and when that comes out, depending on timing and things, I do intend to play it, and I look forward to it. I enjoy and recommend this game. I just also recommend that you may want to keep a guide handy because some of the puzzles are a little odd. Also, backtracking is a little more difficult than it needs to be in certain cases. Because, and you've got a wonderful map here. Excuse me. But there are certain times that rooms connect to each other that the game doesn't. Like, you know, here, I get that that's a secret room, but when you uncover it, could you update the map to show how you got there? Also, I'm missing a block there. Oh, how dare me. Hang on, let's see if I can teleport there. Wait, that's where I'm at? Wait. What? I may be able to just rush to the security system and activate it, and we could do the asteroid thingy. No, because this is closed. I mean, I could push to those. Because I have all the upgrades, and that's the main thing that blocks you from getting into here. I'm doing this fight underwater, that's funny. Let's see if I can activate it. I doubt it. So I'd have to go to the security system. It was worth it just to see this area underwater. I'm glad you respawned. Oh yeah, that's where the jukebox is. I love that the computers and all are offline, but the little zappy field there and the conveyor belts are all still running. But anyway, I'm probably going to go ahead and want to get back to a save point. I'm going to go ahead and pause, call this the end of the game. Also, the blue eye on the screen is apparently not the virus, but that's the council or whatnot watching you the whole way. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this game here. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and pause here. I thoroughly enjoyed this game, even though at times it could frustrate me. It is on Steam, and I highly recommend it. I'm going to go ahead and pause here, though, and actually, you know, it occurs to me, we never really did find out what that justice room was for. Or the whales. These are mysteries that will never be unsolved. Oh well. Like I said, see you next time.